Flip Woodstock. Okay, so up here there's some landing pads of different sizes. We call these the docks. If you would, you see the ones on the end, how they're real small? Go ahead and land on one of those.
Straight ahead right here.
Yeah, you see it? Yeah, so there's the one below us where we're about to pass over and the one on the other end. We can fly back and forth between them to practice. So yeah, just do a couple landings on these little ones real quick. Let me see. Okay, yeah, go to the other side now and aim for the smaller one on the end. So turn left and you'll see across the water, there's actually a whole bunch more. See over there? Yeah, over there to the left, you see? Further? Perfect. And you see the one on the end there?
Far left side.
Either end. It's the same on both sides, it's just a mirror.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Just, okay, awesome. Yeah, so just letting you know that I am like streaming right now, just so,
You good, man.
to let you know. So here, let me, okay, so one thing I'm noticing is that in your landing, you're not coming to a hover first, you're just kind of smacking her down at the end. Let me take the stick real quick. Uh,
Yeah, go ahead.
okay, so really especially with the big aircraft, what you'll find is your precision is going to come down to your ability to bring it directly to a hover. And if you can hover anywhere, you can land anywhere. Like even in the tightest of spots, if you've got a solid hover, you can bring it right down, no problem, right? Um, so my suggestion is to start practicing first, separating your landing into two steps. The first being the approach. At the end of your approach, you should be in a hover, right? And see, that one was a little shaky at the end, but I brought it to a hover and then now I'm landing. And the reason I suggest splitting it up like this when you're practicing, and this goes for practicing in bigger aircraft too, especially in bigger aircraft. And we can pull out a different aircraft here to practice with in a second. But like I want to show you that getting that finesse and like starting your approach a little bit earlier and bleeding into it is what's going to give you the precision that you're looking for when it comes to your approach. And you can see I came to a hover right behind the spot and then slowly glided into it. And that's those two steps again, right? Now, like I would suggest practicing it in the two steps and keeping it split up in two steps for now. But the idea is that you want to come to a hover about 6 inches off the ground. There is a little cushion of air because of ground effect there where you can kind of rest the helicopter on. And I'll show you what I mean here. So when we come in, we really are aiming for a hover right as low to the ground as we can get. And then we're going to, from here, I can hold down collective as hard as I want and I'll never damage the aircraft, right? I've got a little bit or like a 4-step lesson we can go through if you want to figure or do that exact landing that I'm doing.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. So, every step we just build off the previous step. So first I'm going to show you the like step 1 and then we'll go from there. So step 1 is pretty simple. Are you familiar with your dashboard at all?
Yeah, I mean, I know the altimeter and the vertical speed, your direction, and all that.
Okay, yeah. And the attitude indicator in the middle and then our airspeed is what we're worried about right now. So we're going to look down in the black at negative 30 degrees and positive 30 degrees. That's kind of a guideline we're going to use for the time being, just for these maneuvers. So we want to get up to 60 to 80 knots first. It's our first parameter we want to hit. Then after that, we want to pull straight back to 30 here and then keep our wings level and hold it down collective. And that's all we're really going to do. We're going to watch our airspeed drop. As it comes under 10, we're going to make sure to keep those wings level and then slowly bring that nose down and maybe a little bit up collective at the end to catch yourself. And you'll see where we've come pretty much to a hover, right?
Right.
And so like taking the ground out of it and taking everything else out of it first, step one, is like just the basics. So let's you go ahead and take the stick and give that a try, and then we'll build off that. All right.
Alright.
There you go. Whenever you're ready, pull up to 30. Keep those wings level and hold down collective. There you go. Keep the wings level. Keep it level. Yep. Yep. Focus on keeping it level. All right. As we go under 10 knots, slowly bring the nose down. There you go. There you go. There you go. Throttle up. Perfect. Hey, look at that. First try. All right. Awesome. So let me take the stick back after you level off, and I'll show you step two, okay? Once you level off, I'll grab it. All right. I'm going to grab the stick. Okay. So step two, we're just going to build off that one. After we hit 60 to 80 knots, once again, we're going to build off of step one. So we're going to pull up to 30 degrees. Make sure our wings are level, switch to down collective, and then hold that anti-torque. One direction, hold it, hold it, hold it. As soon as we're 180 degrees, we're going to pull our nose up, stop our rotation, and up collective to catch yourselves. This is where you really start getting the hang of doing this without the dials, but we're still going to use the dials for now. So I'm going to show you one more time real quick because it all happens real fast. Okay, so we're going to get up to 60 to 80 knots here. And remember, the only additional thing is we're going to be holding that anti-torque. And then we just want to make sure when our nose starts dipping under the horizon, we start pulling that sucker up. We're going to yank it on that stick for all it's worth. So now that I'm up to speed, I'm going to pull up to 30 degrees, hold down collective, start that rotation. As our nose drips under the middle line there, I'm going to pull it back up. You see that?
Gotcha.
So go ahead and take the stick and give that a try real quick. Okay, okay. So just an observation with that, I see a big tendency in a lot of people to try to muscle the aircraft around. And kind of what I'm teaching you, and we're on step two out of four, is how to work with the aircraft as your momentum breaks, because what you'll find is that high speeds, that tail is really hard to push around. But as your speed breaks, all of a sudden that tail's easy, like it breaks and it swings around real fast. So that's what we're looking for here. And that's the sole reason of step two, is just to feel what that momentum break feels like. And we want to keep our wings flat when we're doing it. Doing too much left or right on the cyclic to kind of try and muscle that around is going to introduce more speed when you're trying to stop. And that's what we want to kind of prevent here. You want to keep it flat and hold that left stick and spin it around. So just like step one, we're just holding the anti-torque the whole time. So pull it up to 30, down collective, and anti-torque. A little high, but it's all right. It'll go fast. Here you go. Pull up and throttle up. Yeah, there you go. Okay, okay, that was good. We're trying to aim for like 30 degrees bank and ride it around. And the reason being is because what happens is most people try and take their maneuvers and they jam like their approach, they try to jam it all into the very end as the smallest amount of time they can possibly do right at the end before they hit the ground, right? Well, what that does is that creates the largest room for error. What you do is if you take your maneuver and you stretch it out as far as you can and you make it a lot more subtle, and you make your decrease in speed consistent, then it makes everything more predictable and it makes you more consistent.
Gotcha.
So what we're aiming here for is to get a consistent decrease in speed. So that's why I keep telling you to hit 30, is because it'll get us slowing down at a steady rate and it makes everything super predictable. Uh-oh. We DC. I think we DC'd. Hey, Woodstock. Hey, come back, man. We're there's helicopters over here, right?
Mm-mm. I've never been over this part of the island. I crashed out.
Yeah, I saw that. So, here, look, over here, on both sides of this road, there's these two helipads right here.
Oh, okay.
You know what? Here, I know which one. I'm gonna pull one out right now.
Holy shit. Okay.
Said you like the big ones.
I don't fly. Most of the servers that I play in, they either have the Black Hawks or the Little Birds.
Yeah, well, you get good at flying this thing, and that Black Hawk will feel like a little bird. There you go. Turn around behind us. If you look behind us, we'll have the other ones, and you can fly back and forth between these two and practice landing this thing. Just focus on bringing it to a hover first to the right. Yeah, yeah, off in the distance over there.
Thing I can see is the horizon. That's it.
All right, go by feel. Dials ain't always gonna work. There you go. Perfect. See, you don't need them dials.
Yeah.
And you can actually use your time a little more wisely. You don't have to set it down on the ground every time when you practice. If you just go back and forth and practice getting to that hover, then you're practicing the important part of your approach that you're gonna need to solidify, and that'll actually use your time the most efficiently. Just come to a hover, go back to the other side, go to a hover, and keep going back and forth like that. There you go. You see how you can't tilt too much in this one? You really feel it, don't you?
Yeah.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, this thing's like flying a bus in the air.
Yeah, man. You said you wanted to be good at flying the big ones. Well, get good at flying the MI-8, and you can fly anything in this game.
I don't know that any server even uses these except for like vanilla servers.
Yeah, some do just because of how much it can carry. It can carry quite a lot, especially rockets. It's the amount of rockets you have is insane.
Oh yeah, I forgot they have the armored version of this in the vanilla servers.
Hmm.
I think, like I said, flying little birds. I think those are the easiest, just because they're so small and nimble.
Yeah, you
You
can
can
kind
just
of cheat. You
float
don't
through
have to
there.
use the tail as much. Remember when I was talking about putting everything into the last minute on your maneuver? Start your approach earlier. You can bring your nose up to the neutral line and just kind of tap down collective and glide without losing any speed. And just like at the halfway point, try to get into that level flight area and glide in, and then ease in your nose up a little bit more and more to slowly bleed off speed and to time, like to be precise with things. There you go, there you go. So those poles on the left and right are at the halfway mark, and I put them there intentionally so that you can kind of see when you should start your approach, because it's usually a lot earlier than people. Here, you mind if I take the stick real quick and show you something? Okay. All right, so check this out. Dive and get speed. And then, so now that I have plenty of speed, I'm pulling my nose up and down collective right here. And you see me settle it into this level flight where I'm not burning speed, but we're just kind of gliding in here real low. Now I'm going to gently increase how much I'm flaring and add that anti-torque and then tap that right throttle. And you see how it just whips it around. So yeah, yeah. So kind of what I'm getting at is that you get up to speed, you want to pull it up, your nose up to where you have to ease onto the down collective to keep it low. And then you're going back and forth between down and up collective to keep it where you want it. Then when you're ready, you slowly pull that nose up, start your tail motion, and as you feel your speed cut out, then your tail will swing around, and then you'll be ready and lined up.
Okay.
So that's really how you get that consistency is by stretching it out super long, right? The longer you stretch it out, the more accurate you'll be, the more precise you'll be. But the important part is you can wait even longer if you bring it up to the center line first and just ride in there like this. And this gives you all the reactivity in the world. So you can abort or you can be like, nope, okay, I'm committing. Let's go ahead and send it. And moving the MI-8 like that is all tail movement. It's just learning how to move your tail. You can preload it and then whip this thing around just like any other helicopter. So here you go. Go ahead and take the stick back. And if you wanted to go back over this at any point, you this will be, excuse me, this will be recorded on Twitch, and it has my inputs overlaid on the screen. You can actually watch like what I'm pushing as I'm pushing it while I'm explaining it to you.
Yeah, not like that.
It's all right. It's a little bit different when you come in like that because all of a sudden you're relying so much more on your collective. I'm gonna repair you real quick. And what I'll do is I'll be going back and forth up and down collective to keep myself at the right heights. But you felt what it was like gliding in. You hit that glide pretty good.
Yeah, I mean the glide part wasn't hard.
Mhm.
I think the hardest part is just.
Our dials are broken, by the way, after that crash.
I noticed that.
Yeah. And there you go. You see how responsive your collective is when you're like just skidding like or like sliding through the air like that.
Yeah.
And then you can ease into your stopping at any point. As long as you have enough speed, you can stretch it out. And that's really where like the precision comes in is being able to stretch out your approach until you're ready for that final maneuver when you're ready to actually whip it around. There you go. I healed you.
Is this your server or is this just something you're part of?
Uh, yeah, so I'm a dev and like the person who runs our training on the server. Um,
Alright.
there's three devs. The person who owns the server is Wolf. Our main developer is Cal, and then I've built all the stuff you're flying in right now, all our training obstacles.
Alright.
Yeah,
That
see,
ain't gonna do it.
that's when earlier when we were up in the air and it didn't seem real important, and I was harping on you pulling that stick to the side too much and putting too much tilt in this when you're flying low is when it really becomes important. I think your engine's on. Because when we're like inches off the ground, you got to be flat as you can be. That anti-torque to spin you around. Yes, sir. There you see how when you tilted in, we swung so far to the left like that? That was because we banked to the left a little too much there. Because what happens is it actually pulls you to the left whenever you bank a direction.
Gotcha.
There you go. Keep it flat. Yep. Pull that nose up. Pull that nose up. Yep. Yep. Throttle up. Yeah. Look at that. That was a beautiful J hook in the MI-8. And now it's just like making it precise, right?
Tons and tons of practice.
Yeah, that's all it is timing it. But you see how much flatter that maneuver was than what we were trying to do in the beginning?
Oh yeah.
See, we tilted to the left so much and see how unsteady that became? We're
Do
looking
you
around.
use auto hover at all for anything?
Going AFK.
So it's kind of pointless, right?
There's very certain scenarios where it's useful, like, or very specific scenarios, like sometimes if you're in a precarious spot and you're trying to unload people without killing anybody, or like, and it's like you don't have room, maybe auto hover might be useful to until people get off, and then I would immediately disengage it before I fly away. You know what I mean? But like.
Gotcha.
There's very limited scenarios in which I would briefly turn it on, but not during flight. I would already be at a hover before I hit auto hover.
Gotcha.
Because to me, turning on auto hover with any kind of momentum is very unpredictable. It starts swinging you all over the place. That's good. That's good, man. You're getting that rotation in real good now.
What is all of that over there in front of us?
Yeah, so here, let me show you this thing real quick. I'm gonna teleport us. Um, First, I'm gonna put us in a different helicopter. Hold us down if you can. Sorry, I should have gave you a bit of warning. Okay, so kind of in line with what you're practicing. Like the short answer to your question is this is what we use for our certifications. We have certifications for people that are interested in improving. Kind of
Okay.
lets you know what you're good at and what you need to work on. Um, this
Okay.
is one of the first tests here, and how the test goes, I'll tell you so you can give it a go if you want, is you take off from this pad, go through all the hoops and land back on this pad without exceeding 20 knots. And the purpose of this test is it's hover practice, just like we were doing, coming to a hover and then maneuvering within the hover before you land, right? So it's basically taxiing, is a taxi test.
Okay.
So
Alright.
if you want to give it a go, this will really point out in a hurry when you're leaning when you shouldn't, because at a hover, if you pull that stick to the side and lean to the left, you're going to start flying directly to the left.
Right.
And it'll pull you into the wall every time. So you got to keep flat and turn with your tail. You steer with your tail, you speed up and slow down with your nose, and you use your collective for altitude.
Okay. Alright.
And I don't have a whole lot of time left. I'm about to head off for the day, but hopefully um, our time together was beneficial.
Yeah, I mean, I just like I said, my biggest thing for me is not not being able to fly the heavier vehicles.
And the stuff that we've been going over will definitely help you. Keep practicing that. Practice this. Come back and fly this in the MI-8, and then tell me how good you are on the heavier vehicles.
Yeah.
Don't go over 20. Less.
Don't go over 20.
Yeah, you gotta stay under 20 knots. And this is what I'm talking about. If you tilt, it's gonna pull you right into that wall, so you gotta swing that tail around. Yeah. And this is just practicing everything that we've just basically gone over, right? Watch out, your speed. There you go.
This is kind of interesting, man.
How you're finding it useful. We also use this one for little bird training on when you start learning how to use your anti-torque the opposite way to go fast.
Oh shit, got too high.
It's all right. I'll teleport you real quick. So yeah, I have to go now, but you can definitely spawn over here and practice on this one. When you get good at this one, the purple one behind us is like
Okay.
the next level up of
Okay.
difficulty, and this will make you
Same,
real
same
steady.
thing.
Yeah, yeah. Well, no, that one there's no speed limit. That one, fast as you can comfortably do it. You're gonna end up going slow anyway, but um, there's a lot of lessons that can be taught on these circuits. So if you ever want to reach out and find some more time, we can work together and start learning how to step on the ball and do some other cool things to make the helicopter a bit more responsive with speed.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I appreciate your help.
Yeah, yeah. Thanks for your time and everything. Good luck with your practice. Let me know how it goes, all right? Of
All right, man. I appreciate it.
course. You take care.
Take care, buddy.